So today we're at Payson Park and we're going to give you some newish history. We're going to interview Cheryl, and she's been living here for quite a long time, and she's going to give you some kind of modern history of Payson Park.
I can't thank you enough for inviting me to talk about Payson Park. I've been following your Parks and Recreation series and they're wonderful. How nice that we get to highlight Payson Park. I've been part of Payson Park dating back to the early 1980s. My first exposure to the park was, of course, through my own children, which is the case for a lot of the families here in East Deering and Back Cove. And it happened to be through the Little League program. Children had reached 4 and 5 years old, and at the time it was not Loring Field, it was actually called simply Little League 7. So my girlfriend, Mary Ann DePietro, and myself sat down and we set up the rules of engagement for what was acceptable and what was not acceptable for T-ball. We wanted everybody to be able to play, regardless of ability, size, interest, whatever. And we got together with the local Little League 7 and implemented the program. And the first team had these wonderful blue shirts that said EDNA, E-D-N-A, East Deering Neighborhood Association. We all kicked in $10 a piece for the $100 sponsorship and put the first team on the field over there. And as you probably know, it blossomed and became extremely successful. And then the other thing that I remember, and I have very fond memories of actually, is because I happen to know the gentleman who now is deceased that approached me from B&M and asked if B&M could make a donation somewhere in the neighborhood. And I quickly responded by saying, oh yes, Payson Park. We would like to have a tot lot. And the tot lot back then was built and paid for by B&M, and it was over by that vacant space next to West Kidder Street. So it's been fun to watch the park, which I still utilize, by the way, even though my children are grown. I love the evolution of things like pickleball or small concerts here in this particular venue of the park. And there isn't a day that goes by where there isn't something going on for somebody. And that's the exciting part. And I just feel fortunate to have represented at this park for many years as a city councilor, and that's that.